Welcome back to another video, and unfortunately with these last 3 chapters of Black Clover setting up the final battle, we quite legit see the craziest things all come together. Of course, manga spoilers ahead of Black Clover. Don't know how many of the Black Clover mangas chapters or things I will talk about, just because Black Clover season 2 and event, I think that season will then carry on until the end of Black Clover are released, just off the benefactor of I will eventually drop the manga. I'm quite busy, and wait until the anime is released. I didn't really think I was going to do this video, but I was quite intrigued on what happened. Of course, TikTok is still around, and there are very many ways for me to still see manga spoilers, unfortunately, unless I block accounts, and I ain't really about blocking unless it's anyway, as we see in these last 3 chapters, we quite legit see the most craziest thing. Of course, they're still fighting Lucius in this little battle, and then we see Yami come back, eventually making a deal with Magellan, one of the devils that came up from the underworld with Lucius, eventually creating a contract with Yami. Now Yami has his own devil union mode. Imagine, incredibly enhancing his fighting tactics. Of course, he was incredibly beaten down by the former fight, and then wanting to fight everybody, and then of course going on a tirade against the Paladins in each and every fight that is out there that is being controlled. So goes after quite legit everyone. I don't know who he's currently fighting. Of course, I think he just launches attack against some randos fodder that he's currently in the fight with. Then we see my boy, I don't know his name quite right. I had a script, I lost it, deleted it, don't know where it happened to it. We see Fergulion. We see that boy Fergulion and her sister Marileona with the younger brother putting up a fire attack against Lucius' grand attack that is, of course, trying to kill much of the civilians on the ground. Now, this, of course, doesn't happen because all 3 of them combined for such a family fire attack that it is impaled or rejects that attack from ever hitting the ground. Of course, kind of making it full circle that the younger brother is kind of close to their power level. I don't think so at all. That younger brother, I'm just calling him the younger brother. That younger brother is nowhere close to Marileona and or Asta and or Yuno's level. I know he was supposed to be that kind of rival, but he's like that third rival that's kind of just in the background of everything. But he's just not there. He just never got the screen time for it and or the manga time. If the manga and the screen time was longer, maybe. But since that doesn't happen, it kind of just stays in the background. Especially with Marileona kind of just fodderizing everybody most of the time in the story. Anyway, we see Asta eventually jump up from his fight, and eventually the guy from the Zetin dude encounters Lucius. He loses, probably in a hard-fought battle. Still loses, hand in the chest, donut, but he's alive. Black Clover. He's alive and unfortunately gets healed at the end. But then we say Yuno putting the beats while trying to pressure Lucius in any of his regard. Lucius is, of course, not taking Yuno seriously and inevitably still letting himself get pushed back, knowing, hey, let's make this fun. Then Asta eventually gets healed, jumps straight back into the fight against Lucius. Now, unfortunately for Lucius, of course, with all of the people he's revived Asta's mother. Asta and his mom still have like no connection towards each other, since she had to desert Asta at a very young she had to leave Asta when Asta was still a very young age, sort of like a baby. But unfortunately, Libe has a sort of connection and a much deeper connection to Asta's mom than Asta ever does, and unfortunately does not want to cut her. But eventually they come to a compromise. Hey, that's not really her. She died. Let's beat the brakes off of her. And they will, of course, handle that with quite legit ease, and then move on to Lucius. Then Lucius, Lucius, Yuno, Asta finally start off the final battle, and that's unfortunate seeing Black Clover come to an end, because I feel like this Black Clover ending or this Black Clover final couple of chapters is rushed. I know it's 3 chapters every couple of months, but it's unfortunate that it's ending like this. It just feels kind of like, if you read the manga, hopefully you do or don't, I don't know, it feels kind of rushed. Like, there's more expose, there's more backstory to most of these characters that you could really dig into, fleshing out the scenery and fleshing out the world of Black Clover, especially since you kind of have all these different realms and all these different kingdoms that are kind of just being thrown into this final battle. Of course, these are characters we know, but not really characters we're in love with. But it's quite unfortunate. I love them fighting. I love Black Clover. One of my favorite, if not my most favorite, Nugent. Let's see how the final battle may fumble. I don't really like the ending of it. I just feel like it's rushed, but there may be spin-offs on the horizon with Black Clover, where this story, like the main story, may end, but like Asta's story may not end with Black Clover. Hopefully we get more of this insane Nugent. Anyway, like, subscribe. Hopefully we see more of this. Shout out to Black Clover. Unfortunately, the final battle, the final run is ending. I don't think the next 3 chapters that will release will end Black Clover. I think it'll probably still go on until the end, till like the end of 2026. That's when you'll see the end of Black Clover. But respect it, love it. I just don't know why they threw that younger brother in with Marileona. Marileona's enough. She's pirate. She's not pirate. She's Wizard King level. Come on now. Anyway, like, subscribe, and say goodbye to Black Clover.